My child, I have seen you in the stillness of the deep night. I have heard the heavy, trembling sigh you let out when the world finally went quiet, and I have felt the crushing weight that presses against your chest the moment your head hits the pillow. You are tired not just in your muscles and bones, but in the very marrow of your spirit. I see you tossing and turning, trying to find a comfortable position for a soul that feels fundamentally out of place. You feel as though you are carrying the gravity of the entire universe on your shoulders, and you wonder if anyone notices the silent war you are fighting in the dark. I want you to know that I am here. I am not a distant observer, but the very breath that keeps you alive. This message is not a coincidence. It is a divine appointment, a whisper from my heart to yours, because I cannot bear to see you break under a burden I never intended for you to carry. Stop for a moment. Let the air fill your lungs and listen to my voice. For I am about to reveal the path to the rest you so desperately crave. Before I reveal the profound blessing and the secret to your peace that is coming to you right now, I want you to declare your presence in my sanctuary. Do not let this moment pass you by, for your recognition is the first step toward your healing. Type, "I am here, Lord," or 7007 in the comments right now to open the gates of heaven over your life. This is your act of faith, a signal to the spiritual realm that you are ready to receive. Join this family of believers by pressing the like button to signal your agreement with heaven, and subscribe to this channel so that my voice may always find its way to you. By doing this, you are telling the universe that you belong to me, and that you are stepping out of the shadows and into my marvelous light. Your journey toward a quiet mind begins with this simple yet powerful declaration of faith. You are an exhausted time traveler, my precious one. Though your body is resting in the present, your mind is constantly leaping forward, trying to live in a future that has not yet been written. You spend your nights in the distant years to come, trying to solve problems that do not exist, fighting battles that have not been declared, and weeping over tragedies that will never happen. You are trying to manage the finances of a decade from now with the strength I have given you for today. You are attempting to protect children who are not yet grown from dangers that I have already averted. This is why you feel so depleted. You are leaking your vital energy into a void of what ifs and maybes. You were created to live in the I am, which is always in the present moment. When you drag the anxieties of tomorrow into the sanctuary of today, you are trying to play God, attempting to control the uncontrollable. And in the process, you are losing the beauty of the life I have placed right in front of you. I tell you, truly do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own, but it also has enough of my grace. When you reach that future you so fear, you will find that I am already there, waiting for you with the same provision and the same love I offer you now. Why do you treat the future as a desert where I do not exist? My presence is not limited by time or space. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end, and every second in between is held firmly in my hand. Your anxiety is a signal that you have stepped out of my timing and into a timeline of your own making. Come back to me. Come back to this breath, this heartbeat, this moment. I have prepared a table for you in the presence of your enemies, even the enemy of your own racing thoughts. Lay down your maps of the future and trust the guide who knows every turn of the road. Your rest is not found in having all the answers, but in knowing the one who holds the questions. My child, have you realized that within the quiet, hidden halls of your mind, you have built a massive production house? You have become a master director of imaginary tragedies, a writer of scripts that never see the light of day. Yet they consume every ounce of your vital energy. I see you sitting in the dark theater of your soul, watching the reels of worst-case scenarios play over and over again on the screen of your imagination. You spend hours meticulously crafting the dialogue of arguments that haven't happened, rehearsing your defense against accusations that have never been made. You design the lighting for scenes of failure, making them look so vivid, so visceral, that your heart begins to race as if the cameras were already rolling. You have become so skilled at imagining the collapse of your bank account, the betrayal of your closest friends, or the sudden loss of your health, that you have forgotten how to see the beauty I have painted in your actual life. You are exhausting yourself directing a film that I never commissioned. You are living in a world of shadows, fearing the monsters you yourself have drawn on the walls of your mind. I watch you as you pace the floor of this mental studio, obsessing over every frame of a potential disaster. You ask, what if I lose it all? And then you proceed to write an entire season of misery based on that one lie. You ask, what if they leave me? And you begin to feel the actual physical pain of abandonment, even while the ones you love are standing right next to you, reaching out for your hand in this very moment. You are so caught up in the production of your fear that you cannot hear my voice calling you to come back to the reality of my love. You have created a version of the future where everything goes wrong, where every door is locked, every well is dry, and every friend is a foe. This what-if game is a weapon the enemy uses to turn your divine imagination, the gift I gave you, to dream, to hope, and to create, into a prison of torment. You are using the very power I gave you to build my kingdom, to instead build a monument to your own destruction. Why do you spend your precious nights rehearsing for a life of sorrow that I have not planned for you? Do you see the absurdity of your sorrow, my beloved? You are weeping at a funeral for someone who is still breathing. You are mourning the loss of a home you still live in. You are panicking over a debt that has not even been called and perhaps never will be. You are experiencing the physical and emotional toll of a tragedy that exists only in your imagination. Your body does not know the difference between a real threat and a manufactured one. It responds to your thoughts by flooding your system with the chemicals of stress, making your hands shake, your breath shallow, and your stomach turn. You are suffering for sins you haven't committed and losses you haven't suffered. This is not the life of freedom I intended for you. I did not create you to be a victim of your own creativity. I created you to be a co-creator of peace, a vessel of joy, and a light in the darkness. But you have allowed the director within you to take over the screen, pushing out the truth of my promises with the noise of your own manufactured anxieties. There is a fatal flaw in every script you write in that dark room of worry, and it is this: you have left me out of the story. In your mind's movie, you are always alone. You are the one who has to find the money. You are the one who has to fix the broken relationship. You are the one who has to fight the illness with nothing but your own fading strength. You have painted a picture of a future where I have abandoned you, where my hand is shortened and my ears are heavy. This is why the movie is so terrifying to you. Without me, the world is indeed a cold and dangerous place. But I am not a character you can just edit out of your life. I am the foundation, the author, and the finisher. Your mental scripts are fiction because they ignore the greatest reality of all, that I am with you always, even unto the end of the age. When you imagine the storm, why do you not also imagine me walking on the water toward you? When you imagine the fire, why do you not see me standing there as the fourth man, shielding you from the heat? It is time to resign from your position as the director of tragedies. It is time to tear up the scripts of what if and I can't. I am calling you today to step out of that dark, lonely theater and into the warm sunlight of my presence. Stop trying to control the narrative of next year and start trusting the one who wrote the book of life before the world began. I have seen every night you spent editing your fears, and I am here to tell you that the movie you fear will never be released. I have already intercepted the plot. I have already provided the rescue. Your job is not to figure out how the story ends. Your job is to stay close to the author. Every time your mind starts to wander into a dark scene, interrupt the production. Tell that inner voice that the script has been changed by the blood of the Lamb. You are not a character in a tragedy. You are the protagonist of a victory story that I have already finished. Lay down the megaphone, turn off the projectors, and let my peace be the only voice you hear in the silence of your soul. My beloved, I have watched as you struggled to catch your breath, feeling as though an invisible hand were tightening around your chest. I have seen the way your shoulders have become knotted with tension, carrying a physical weight that reflects the turmoil within your soul. Do you think I am blind to the physical toll your anxiety takes on you? I am the one who knit you together in your mother's womb. I know every nerve, every fiber, and every beat of your heart. When you feel that sudden racing in your chest, that hollow ache in your stomach, or that dizziness that makes the world feel unstable, I am right there with you. I do not look at your physical symptoms with judgment, but with an overwhelming compassion. You were not designed to be a pack animal for the worries of the world. You were designed to be a vessel of my glory, a temple of my spirit. Your body is crying out because you are attempting to carry a load that exceeds its divine specifications. You are not breaking because you are weak. You are breaking because you are trying to be strong in a way I never asked you to be. There is a distinction you must learn to make between the assignments I have given you and the false burdens you have picked up along the way. I told you that my yoke is easy and my burden is light. Yet the things you are carrying today feel like leaden stones. This is because most of what weighs you down did not come from my hand. You have picked up the burden of other people's expectations, the crushing weight of trying to please everyone around you. You have strapped on the heavy armor of a past you cannot change, and the suffocating cloak of a future you cannot see. These are the false burdens. They are the lies that tell you that if you stop worrying, everything will fall apart. They are the shadows that insist you must be perfect to be loved. I am looking at you now, and I am asking you, who told you that you had to carry this? I never placed the weight of the world on your back. I kept that for myself. When you try to carry what I have already claimed, you are not being responsible. You are being overwhelmed by a burden that doesn't belong to you. Imagine for a moment that your life is a journey across a vast landscape, and I have given you a small, beautiful bag filled only with what you need for today. But as you walk, you stop at every crossroad to pick up stones of regret. You see a mountain in the distance, a challenge that won't arrive for 3 years, and you decide to carry the rocks from that mountain today. You pass by the opinions of strangers, and you tuck their harsh words into your pockets. Soon you are doubled over, gasping for air, unable to see the path I have laid out for you, because your eyes are fixed on the dusty ground. My child, it is time to empty your pockets. It is time to drop the stones. You do not fall apart when you let go. You fall into my purpose. You do not get lost when you release control. You get aligned with my will. I am the great caster of cares. I am waiting for you to hand me the heavy things so that I can give you the wings of an eagle. You were made to soar, not to crawl under the weight of maybe and what if. You often mistake the pressure of your season for a punishment, but I want you to see it through my eyes. You are not being crushed. You are being squeezed like a grape to produce the finest wine. You are not being broken. You are being shaped like clay on a potter's wheel. The pressure is necessary for your expansion, but the anxiety is a thief that tries to steal the fruit of that process. I do not give big assignments to small people. I am preparing you to handle the weight of a massive blessing. But a heavy blessing requires strong shoulders and a heart that is anchored in me, not in its own strength. If I gave you the miracle you are asking for right now, the weight of it would crush you because you are still trying to hold everything up yourself. This season of waiting, this season of intense heat, is not meant to destroy you. It is meant to make you fireproof. I am training you to stand in the storm, not just to survive it, so that when the doors of destiny swing open, you will walk through them with the quiet confidence of a conqueror. Hear my voice today, for it is a command, as much as it is an invitation. Cast your cares on me. I do not say this because I want to see you fail. I say it because I am the only one who can carry them without tiring. I never sleep, I never slumber, and I am never overwhelmed by the complexity of your situation. No storm is too big when you have faith in me, and even if your faith is as small as a mustard seed, it is enough to move the mountains that are currently blocking your view. You have been running on empty for far too long, trying to fuel your life with the adrenaline of fear. Stop. Rest. Let me take the wheel. I did not bring you this far just to leave you in the middle of the wilderness. I am the God who makes a way where there is no way. And I am already working behind the scenes to redeem everything you have been through. Every tear you have shed has been collected in my bottle, and every silent prayer has been heard in the highest heavens. The weight is leaving you now. Breathe in my peace and let the false burdens fall to the ground. My precious child, we must speak of the white-knuckled grip you have on your life. I see you sitting in the driver's seat of your destiny, your hands trembling as you squeeze the steering wheel so hard your knuckles have turned pale. You are staring intensely at the road ahead, trying to anticipate every pothole, every sharp turn, and every storm cloud on the horizon. You believe that if you just focus hard enough, if you plan meticulously enough, and if you worry long enough, you can prevent the car from veering off course. But I am here to tell you a truth that will both unsettle and set you free. The steering wheel you are holding is not connected to anything. The control you think you possess is an illusion, a beautiful but exhausting lie that you have told yourself to feel safe in an unpredictable world. You are wearing yourself out, trying to navigate a vehicle that is already being guided by my sovereign hand. You are exhausting your spirit by trying to do my job, and in the process, you are missing the breathtaking scenery of the life I am providing for you right now. Control is a heavy mask that you wear to hide your vulnerability. You feel that if you let go, if you truly surrender the outcome of your finances, your children, or your health, then everything will descend into chaos. You treat me like an assistant who is only called when your own plans fail, rather than the architect who designed the building. This need to control is actually a subtle form of pride, a whisper in your soul that says, I know what is best for me, better than the one who created me. When you worry, you are essentially saying that my timing might be off, that my resources might be insufficient, or that I might simply forget about you. My child, look at the stars in the heavens. Do I not keep them in their orbits without your help? Look at the seasons as they turn. Do I not bring the spring after the harshest winter? If I can manage the vast complexities of the cosmos, why do you think your life is too difficult for me to handle? Your anxiety is the fruit of trying to be your own God, and it is a throne that was never meant for your heart to occupy. I want you to imagine the relief that comes with resignation. Not the resignation of defeat, but the resignation of trust. Imagine stepping out of that driver's seat and moving into the passenger side, or better yet, resting in the back seat while I take the wheel. The road does not become less winding, and the storms do not immediately vanish, but the burden of navigation is no longer yours. You can breathe. You can look out the window. You can even sleep in the midst of the gale because you know the one who is driving knows the way home. You were never meant to carry the blueprints of your entire future. I have given you enough light for the step you are on, not for the mile you haven't reached yet. When you try to see too far ahead, you stumble over what is right in front of you. Trusting me with all your heart means acknowledging that my ways are higher than your ways, and my thoughts are deeper than your thoughts. It means leaning not on your own understanding, but leaning on the everlasting arms that have never dropped a single soul. The illusion of control is the primary source of your burnout. You are tired because you are trying to sustain a world that I am already holding together. You wake up at 3 a.m. to check the locks on doors that I have already barred against the enemy. You replay conversations to see where you could have manipulated a better outcome, ignoring the fact that I am the one who touches the hearts of kings. This God complex is a crushing weight that no human was ever designed to endure. It is the reason for your high blood pressure, your restless mind, and your spiritual dryness. I am calling you today to an act of radical surrender. I am asking you to hand over the keys. This is not a loss of power. It is the acquisition of my power. When you become small enough to admit you cannot control the wind, you become big enough to let my spirit blow you exactly where you need to go. Your peace is directly proportional to your level of surrender. The more you try to grab, the more you lose. The more you release to me, the more you truly possess. Listen to my voice in this moment. I am in control and I am good. Those two truths combined are the antidote to every fear you have ever felt. If I were in control but not good, you would have reason to terrorize yourself. If I were good but not in control, you would be right to worry. But because I am both the Almighty King and your loving Father, you can finally relax. Your future is not a series of accidents. It is a carefully woven tapestry that I am creating. Even the threads that look dark and tangled to you right now are being used to create a masterpiece of grace. Stop trying to pull at the threads. Stop trying to change the pattern before it is finished. Trust the weaver. Trust the pilot. Trust the Father. As you let go of the illusion of control, you will find a stability that the world cannot give, and the storms cannot take away. The steering wheel is mine, the path is mine, and your safety is guaranteed by my very character. Lay down your head, my beloved, and let me lead you into the rest I have prepared for you. My precious one, have you noticed that the loudest voices in your head often speak in the quietest whispers? I have watched you in those vulnerable moments when a single tiny thought enters your mind like a drop of poison in a clear well. It doesn't come with a shout or a grand entrance. It slides in through the cracks of your weariness. It starts with two simple, devastating words. What if you are sitting in the peace of your home, and suddenly the whisper says, what if the money runs out? You are looking at your sleeping child, and the whisper hisses, what if something happens to them, and you can't save them? These are not your thoughts, my child. They are the arrows of the adversary, designed to pierce the shield of your faith. The enemy of your soul does not need to use swords or chains to imprison you. He only needs to use your own imagination against you. He knows that if he can plant a seed of doubt in the fertile soil of your mind, your own anxiety will water it until it grows into a forest of fear that blocks out my light. Do you see the irony, my beloved? The imagination is a gift I gave you. It was intended to be the canvas where you paint my promises, the sacred space, where you envision the more than you can ask or imagine that I have prepared for you. But the liar has invaded that studio. He has taken the brushes I gave you to paint hope and has forced you to paint horrors. He turns your God-given ability to see the unseen into a torture chamber. He shows you vivid, detailed scenes of your own humiliation, your own lack, and your own abandonment. He makes these movies look so real that your body reacts with actual pain, actual tears, and actual terror. He wants to keep you so busy fighting ghosts in the future that you have no strength to walk with me in the present. He whispers that I am silent because I have left you, when the truth is that my silence is often the quiet of a father watching his child learn to recognize the difference between the shepherd's voice and the stranger's hiss. Can you hear that lying voice now? Can you recognize the pattern of its deceit? If you can see the strings of the puppet master, he loses his power over you. If you realize that the voice telling you it's too late or you aren't enough is the same voice that has lied to the world since the beginning, you can begin to shut the door. If you want me to silence that liar right now and clear the air of your mind, do not stay silent yourself. This is your moment to reclaim your territory. Do you recognize the voice of the one who has been stealing your sleep? If you want me to silence the enemy in your life, right now press the like button as a sign of your defiance against fear. Join this family of believers and subscribe to this channel to signal your agreement with heaven's peace. Do not let the thief have another minute of your peace. Type "I believe" in the comments right now to confirm your faith and invite my truth to drown out the enemy's whispers. Your declaration is a wall that the enemy cannot cross. The whisperer wants you to believe that your anxiety is a sign of your own failure, that if you were a better person or had more faith, you wouldn't feel this way. This is his ultimate trap to make you feel guilty for being afraid. But I am telling you, my child, I do not judge you for the whispers you hear. I judge the one who speaks them. I see you struggling to hold on to my hand while the wind howls around you, and I am moved with a love so deep it would shatter your heart if you felt it all at once. When the enemy says, "What if everything fails?" I want you to learn to talk back. I want you to say, "What if my God is greater? What if the miracle is already at the door? What if the very thing I fear is being used by my Father to bring about my greatest victory?" You have the authority to evict the liar from your mind. You are the gatekeeper of your thoughts, and you do not have to give a seat at your table to someone who only brings poison to the meal. Remember, my precious one, that the enemy only attacks what he fears. He doesn't waste his whispers on those who are not a threat to his kingdom. If he is whispering to you, if he is trying to paralyze you with anxiety, it is because he sees the greatness I have placed within you. He sees the chosen one who is about to wake up to their true power. He sees the blessing that is forming in the atmosphere around you, and he is desperate to distract you so that you don't step into it. Every "what if" he throws at you is a testimony to the "I will" that I have already spoken over your life. He is not trying to stop your future. He knows he can't do that. He is trying to stop you from enjoying the journey. Today, I am giving you a new script. I am giving you my word, which is a double-edged sword that cuts through every lying whisper. The next time the dark thought comes, do not argue with it. Simply turn toward me and let my presence be your answer. The liar must flee when the truth stands up in the room. My beloved, I want to show you the trick the world and your own mind play upon you. Every time you feel that cold shiver of anxiety, it is because you are looking at what I call a godless snapshot. You see, when you think about the future, the meeting next week, the medical report, the empty bank account, your mind takes a picture of that event. But in that picture, you are standing all alone. You see the storm, but you don't see the one who walks on the waves. You see the mountain, but you don't see the one who can cast it into the sea. You are looking at a version of your life that has been digitally altered by the enemy to remove my presence, my power, and my promises. This is why you feel so small and helpless. Anyone would be terrified if they truly had to face the unknown without me. But that snapshot is a lie. It is a manufactured piece of fiction. There is no such thing as a future where I am not already standing waiting to meet you with exactly what you need. Think about the logic of your fear for a moment. You are worrying about a tomorrow that has not yet arrived, but you are basing your worry on a scenario where I have suddenly ceased to be God. For your worst fears to come true exactly as you imagine them, I would have to stop loving you, stop providing for you, and stop being faithful to my word. Does that seem likely to you? Does it seem possible that the creator of the ends of the earth, who has carried you through every fire you have already survived, would suddenly decide to abandon you on a random Tuesday in the future? Anxiety is simply the subtraction of my presence from your anticipation. It is a mathematical error of the soul. When you add me back into the equation, the sum changes immediately. The impossible becomes a platform for my glory. The lack becomes an opportunity for my provision. The godless snapshot is a hallucination of a reality that cannot exist, for I have promised that I will never leave you nor forsake you. I am the great. I am not the great I was, or the great I will be. I exist in an eternal present that spans from the beginning of time to the end of eternity. This means that while you are worrying about how you will handle a crisis next month, I am already in that month setting the pieces in place for your rescue. I am already talking to the people you haven't met yet. I am already opening the doors that you haven't even knocked on. You are looking at a snapshot of a battle and assuming you have lost, but I am looking at the finished film where you are crowned with victory. Your anxiety is caused by your limited perspective. You are looking at one frame of a movie, while I am the author of the entire script. If you could see what I see, if you could see the angels I have stationed at the borders of your future, you would laugh at the fears that currently keep you awake. The future you are afraid of is a ghost, a shadow without substance, because it lacks the one thing that makes reality real: my spirit. If you can see the truth of my presence in your future, do not let this revelation slip away. If you believe that I am already in your tomorrow, making a way for you where there seems to be no way, then affirm it with your voice and your heart. Do not stay silent while the enemy tries to show you those dark pictures. Type "breakthrough is mine" or 11 on 1 in the comments right now to align your spirit with my divine timeline and to signal your entrance into a new season of favor. And if you have not yet done so, like this video and subscribe to this channel right now. This is more than a click. It is a spiritual act of faith, a way to surround yourself with the atmosphere of my peace, and to ensure that my voice is the loudest one in your life. By joining this family, you are declaring that you will no longer be a victim of the godless snapshots, but a witness to my miraculous power. When you catch yourself staring at these dark, godless pictures of tomorrow, I want you to stop and practice a holy imagination. I want you to take that snapshot of your problem and mentally paste my presence right into the center of it. See yourself in that difficult meeting, but see me sitting at the head of the table. See yourself looking at that bill, but see my hand over yours holding the keys to the storehouses of heaven. See yourself in the hospital room, but see me as the great physician standing by the bed, radiating healing light. The moment you reintroduce me to your thoughts, the atmosphere of your mind must change. Light cannot negotiate with darkness. It simply displaces it. You don't need more information about the future to be at peace. You only need a deeper revelation of my presence in it. The godless snapshot is the enemy's favorite weapon because it makes you feel orphaned. But you are not an orphan. You are the chosen one, and your Father owns the day you are so worried about. My child, let this truth sink deep into your spirit. Any future that you can imagine without me is a future that will never happen. It is a false timeline, a spiritual mirage. I have gone before you to make the crooked places straight. I have already fought the giants you are just now beginning to fear. Your life is hidden with me, and because I change, not your security changes not. The world may shake, the economy may falter, and the plans of men may fail. But my covenant with you is an everlasting rock. Stop reacting to the godless snapshots and start resting in the God-filled reality. You are protected, you are provided for, and you are precious in my sight. The tomorrow you are dreading is actually the tomorrow where I'm planning to show you my greatest kindness. Take a deep breath, close your eyes to the lies of the enemy, and open your heart to the certainty of my love. I am there, I am here, and I am yours forever. My beloved child, come closer and let me reveal a mystery of my nature that will shatter the chains of your anxiety forever. You live your life within the narrow confines of a linear timeline. You remember the past, you struggle in the present, and you fear the future as if it were a dark room you are about to enter for the first time. But I am not bound by the ticking of a clock or the turning of a calendar. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end, and every moment in between is equally present to me. This means that while you are trembling at the thought of what might happen next Tuesday, I am already standing in next Tuesday. I am not just watching it from a distance. I am inhabiting it. I am the God who inhabits eternity, and that includes every second of your future. You are worried about a destination you haven't reached, but I am already there, waiting for you with a smile and a handful of provisions. I want you to think about the comfort of this truth. There is no tomorrow for me, only an eternal now. When you pray about a situation that hasn't happened yet, you are talking to the one who is already witnessing the outcome. Your anxiety is born from the fear of the unknown. But to me, nothing is unknown. I have already seen the resolution to the problem that keeps you awake at 3 a.m. I have already navigated the crisis you are bracing for. I have already spoken to the heart of the person you are afraid to face. You are like a child in the back seat of a car crying because you don't know the way home, while I am the driver who has already pulled into the driveway in my mind. I am already standing at the finish line of the race. You are just beginning, and I can tell you with absolute authority, you win. The victory you are begging for is a memory to me. You spend so much energy wondering if I will show up when the big thing happens, but I am already there preparing the atmosphere for your arrival. I am currently arranging the finances you will need in 3 months. I am moving the hearts of people you haven't even met yet to favor you when you walk into a room next year. I am blocking the paths of the enemies who think they have found a way to hurt you. I am the God who goes before you and is also your rear guard. There is nowhere you can go where I am not already present. If you take the wings of the morning and dwell in the uttermost parts of the sea, I am there. If you walk into a furnace of affliction, I am already there, waiting to keep the flames from smelling like smoke on your clothes. Your tomorrow is simply my yesterday, for I have already completed the work of your deliverance. This is why I tell you so urgently, relax. If I am already in your future and I am for you, then what is there to fear? You are not walking into an empty, cold, or accidental tomorrow. You are walking into a tomorrow that has been meticulously curated by my love. You are walking into a space that I have already filled with my grace. Every time you feel that surge of panic about what is coming, I want you to say to your soul, my Father is already there. When the enemy whispers that you won't survive the next season, remind him that the one you serve has already been through that season and has declared it blessed. You are safe because you are held by the one who holds time itself. I have already written the final chapter of your story, and it does not end in defeat. It ends in glory and peace, and in the fulfillment of every promise I have whispered into your heart. Breathe, my precious one, for the future is not a threat. It is my playground. My precious child, I want to teach you the economy of my kingdom, for it is vastly different from the way the world operates. You have been taught to hoard, to save for a rainy day, and to ensure you have everything you need for the next 20 years before you can finally feel at peace. But my grace does not work like a bank account with a lump sum. It works like the manna I provided in the wilderness. Every morning when the sun rose, the bread of heaven was fresh on the ground. I gave them exactly enough for that day, not a crumb more and not a crumb less. When they tried to gather more than they needed out of fear and greed, it rotted in their hands. I did this not to keep them in lack, but to keep them in a relationship with me. I wanted them to wake up every single morning and look into my eyes, knowing that I am their source. I am doing the same with you now. You are exhausted because you are trying to collect enough grace for a year's worth of problems that haven't even arrived. And you wonder why your spirit feels so heavy and stagnant. Think of my grace as a daily subscription to the very life of God. You do not get next month's air today. You breathe the air that is around you right now. You do not get the strength for a battle that is 3 weeks away. You get the strength for the conversation you must have this afternoon. I see you lying awake trying to calculate how you will survive the challenges of next year. You are using the fuel I gave you for today, the emotional energy, the mental focus, and the spiritual strength to try and run a race that is scheduled for a different season. This is why you feel so depleted, my beloved. You are trying to drive 1,000 miles on a single gallon of gasoline that was intended only for your commute home. You are not running out of strength because you are weak. You are running out of strength because you are mismanaging the divine energy I have deposited within you. Grace is a river that flows, not a stagnant pond you can bottle up. I want you to understand the cause of your deep weariness. It is the weight of pre-suffering. You are experiencing the pain of future events that may never even happen. And even if they do, you are experiencing them without the specific grace I will provide when that day finally comes. When you face that giant in the future, I will be standing there with you, and I will hand you the stone and the sling at the exact moment you need them. But today, you are trying to fight the giant in your imagination without the stone, and that is why you feel so defeated. I do not give tomorrow's grace to today's mind. I give today's grace for today's steps. If you will simply focus on being faithful with the breath you are taking right now, you will find that the peace you seek is already present. Stop trying to solve problems that don't have a deadline yet. I am the God of the present moment, and I have provided everything you need for this very second. Hear my promise to you. My mercies are new every morning. This is not just a poetic phrase, it is a spiritual law. Every time you wake up, I have already placed a fresh supply of strength, creativity, and resilience at your bedside. You don't have to carry over the failures of yesterday, and you don't have to borrow the troubles of tomorrow. If you can learn to live in the daily, you will become unstoppable. You will find that you have enough joy for this hour, enough patience for this person, and enough wisdom for this decision. I am training you to trust me one day at a time, one breath at a time. When you let go of the need to have it all figured out for the next decade, you open your hands to receive the miraculous provision I have for you today. Rest in the manna. Trust the source. You have enough because I am enough, and I am with you right now. My child, I want you to understand that the peace I give you is not merely the absence of conflict or a fragile emotion that depends on the world being quiet. My peace is a sovereign authority. It is a spiritual climate that you carry within your very soul. When I stood on that tossing boat in the middle of the Galilee and spoke to the raging wind and the crashing waves, I did not make a polite request. I issued a divine command, "Peace be still." That same authority now dwells within you because I dwell within you. You have been waiting for the storms of your life, your financial worries, your family tensions, your health concerns to stop so that you can finally have peace. But I am telling you today to use the peace I have already placed inside you to stop the storm. Your peace is a weapon that disarms the enemy. When you remain unshaken while everything around you is falling apart, you are exercising a power that the world cannot comprehend. It is the peace that passes all understanding, a divine sentinel that stands guard at the door of your heart, refusing entry to any thought that does not carry my light. Do you realize, my beloved, that when you walk into a room and the atmosphere should change because of the Prince of Peace who lives in you, you are not a victim of the weather of this world. You are a bringer of my heavenly climate. Stop looking at the height of the waves and start looking at the one who stands upon them with you. When you are anchored in me, the chaos of the world has no jurisdiction over your mind. Peace is the evidence of my government in your life. It is the sign that you have fully surrendered your will to mine. I have given you the keys to the kingdom, and one of those keys is the ability to remain calm in the midst of the furnace. The fire cannot burn you, and the waters cannot drown you, because I have marked you as my own. This peace is your birthright as a chosen one. It is not something you must earn through perfection. It is something you receive by simply leaning your head against my chest and listening to my heartbeat. If you feel this supernatural authority rising within you right now, do not let it stay dormant. If you believe that my peace is stronger than your problem, then it is time to declare it to the heavens. Do not stay silent while the enemy tries to shout his lies. Type "I believe" or 777 in the comments right now to activate this authority in your life. This is your confession of faith, a spiritual marker that tells the enemy he has lost his grip on your mind and his influence over your household. As you type these words, feel the chains of heavy anxiety falling away. Take a moment to like this video and subscribe to this channel as a way to signal your agreement with the Kingdom of Peace. By joining this family of believers, you are surrounding yourself with a shield of collective faith. You are not alone in this battle. My peace is your weapon, and today you are learning how to wield it with the strength of a true conqueror. I want you to practice this authority from this moment forward. When a thought of worry knocks on the door of your mind, do not invite it in for tea. Do not try to reason with a lie. Simply speak my peace over it. When the bank account looks low, say, "Peace be still. My provider is on the throne." When the doctor's report causes your heart to skip, say, "Peace be still. I am held by the great physician." You are not fighting for peace. You are fighting from a position of peace. The battle has already been won at the cross, and every anxiety you feel is an illegal squatter on my territory. Evict it with the authority of my name. I have not given you a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. A sound mind is a peaceful mind, a mind that is fixed steadily on me. As you fix your eyes on my face, the shadows of your past and the ghosts of your future will vanish in the brightness of my glory. You are walking in a new level of authority. Believe it, receive it, and watch as the mountains begin to move, because you refuse to let go of my hand. My child, enough is enough. For too long you have been on the defensive, ducking and weaving as the enemy hurls his arrows of what if and not enough at you. You have been a passive recipient of the world's noise, allowing the spirit of fear to dictate the rhythm of your heart. Today the posture changes. You are not a target, you are a temple. You are not a victim, you are a victor. I am calling you to a holy counterattack. This is not a battle fought with muscles, bank accounts, or human strategies. It is a battle of the mouth and the mind. You have been engaging in a toxic monologue, a never-ending cycle of worry, where you talk to yourself about how big your problems are. I am here to tell you, stop talking to yourself and start talking to me. Your words are not just vibrations in the air, they are seeds. Every time you say, "I'll never get through this," you are planting a harvest of failure. Every time you whisper, "I am so overwhelmed," you are watering the weeds of anxiety. Today we change the seeds. We change the harvest. We silence the monologue and begin the divine dialogue. The power of life and death is in your tongue. Do you truly understand the magnitude of that authority? When the darkness says, "You are alone," you must not just feel sad, you must speak. You counterattack with the truth, "I am never alone, for my God is with me." When the spirit of lack whispers that you will lose your home or your future, you do not argue with it. You command it. You say, "My God shall supply all my needs according to his riches and glory." You must learn to zip it when the negative thoughts come. Do not dig up your seeds by speaking words of death the moment you feel a tremor of fear. If you cannot find a promise to speak in the moment of crisis, then remain silent in my presence until I give you one. But do not give the enemy the satisfaction of hearing his own lies coming out of your mouth. Your voice is a key that can either lock you in a prison of fear or open the gates of your destiny. Which will you choose today? Your breakthrough is not just something I am doing. It is something you must participate in through your speech. This is a strategic shift in your spiritual warfare. When the pressure mounts, instead of letting it weaken, you turn it into power. The very thing the enemy meant for your destruction is the very fuel I will use for your promotion. Instead of saying, "I am tired," I want you to say, "I am strong in the Lord." Instead of saying, "I am anxious," say, "The peace of God which surpasses all understanding is guarding my heart." This is not positive thinking or a psychological trick. This is prophetic speaking. You are calling those things that are not as though they were. You are aligning your mouth with the mouth of God. When you speak my word, the atmosphere of your home must shift. The spirits of heaviness must flee. The shadows must retreat. You are a king and a priest in my kingdom, and the word of a king has power. Do not let your authority lie dormant while the enemy dances on your peace. Stand up, square your shoulders, and speak to the mountain. Tell the mountain about the God you serve. Tell the storm about the peace that lives in your spirit. Consistency is the key to this counterattack. It is not enough to speak the truth once and then return to your worries the moment you are alone. This is a lifestyle of victory. Every morning before you check your phone, look at the news, or let the world's anxiety into your eyes, let the first words out of your mouth be words of gratitude and faith. Seal your mind with the blood of the Lamb. Command your day to align with my purposes. If you fall back into old patterns of speech during the day, do not be discouraged. Simply stop, repent, and speak the truth again. I am not looking for perfection. I am looking for a heart that refuses to stay down. Your scars are your credentials, and your words are your weapons. As you begin to speak my truth over your life, you will feel a shift in the spiritual realm. The heavy fog of anxiety will begin to lift, and you will see clearly for the first time in years. You are not just surviving. You are advancing. Now speak, declare your freedom. Your destiny is on the tip of your tongue. My child, let us talk about the only place where I can truly meet you, the now. You spend so much of your life living as a ghost, haunting the ruins of your yesterday, or wandering through the unbuilt hallways of your tomorrow. But I am not the God of what was, or the God of what might be. My name is I Am. I exist in the eternal present, and it is here in this very second that my power is available to you. Anxiety is a thief that pulls you out of the only moment where you have any real influence. You cannot change a single word you said 10 years ago, and you cannot solve a single problem that will arise 10 years from now. You have been given exactly enough strength for this one heartbeat, this one breath, and this one thought. When you flee into the future or retreat into the past, you leave behind the grace I have laid out for you here. Come back to the present. Stop running. This moment, as simple or as difficult as it may seem, is the holy ground where my spirit is waiting to touch you. It is the only place where my peace can truly take root in your soul. I want you to pause right now and feel the air as it enters your lungs. Who do you think provides that breath? I am the one who sustains your life with every rise and fall of your chest. I am as close to you as the rhythm of your own heart. When your mind begins to race toward the distant horizon of your fears, I want you to bring it back to the physical reality of your body, the temple I have chosen to dwell in. Feel the weight of your feet on the floor. I am the rock beneath you. Feel the warmth in your hands. I am the fire within you. This is what it means to be still and know that I am God. You do not need to perform, achieve, or calculate to find me. You only need to be present. In this very moment, are you being harmed? In this very second, is there a lack of air to breathe? In this now, you are safe. In this now, you are loved beyond measure. The power of now is not a passing trend of the world. It is the fundamental reality of a soul that has found its rest in the eternal God. The present moment is the thin place where your temporal life intersects with my eternal nature. It is the only place where miracles happen. You cannot receive a healing in the future. You receive it now. You cannot hear my voice in the past. You hear it now. When you live in the now, you become a conduit for my glory, because you are no longer distracted by the shadows of things that do not exist. This is the secret of the saints and the heroes of faith who walked before you. They learned to walk with me, step by step, breath by breath. They did not worry about the lions until they were actually in the den, and when they were in the den, they found I was already there. Your anxiety is a signal that your spirit has abandoned the present. Reclaim it today. Anchor yourself in the immediate goodness of my presence. I am here, and that is enough. The now is a gift, which is why it is called the present. Open it with joy, for in this moment, every spiritual blessing you need is already yours. Make it a holy practice throughout your day to check where your spirit is residing. If you find yourself drifting into the what-ifs, stop and name 3 things you can see, hear, or feel in this moment. Acknowledge me in the mundane, in the taste of your food, the light coming through your window, or the sound of a bird outside. By doing this, you are practicing the presence of God. You are teaching your soul that it is not abandoned to the chaotic currents of time. You are reminding yourself that you are a child of the Eternal One. And in me, there is no such thing as a crisis that is too big for this single moment. Let the peace of the present moment wash over you like a cool, refreshing stream. You do not have to carry the whole mountain today. You only have to take the next step. And in that step, I will be holding your hand, whispering that all is well. Rest in the now, my beloved, for this is where my kingdom truly begins. My beloved, we have reached the threshold of a new beginning. I have seen the tears you shed in the lonely hours of the night, and I have heard the silent prayers of a heart that felt it was at its breaking point. But look at you now, you are still standing. You are not breaking. You are becoming. You are not falling apart. You are falling into my divine purpose. All the lessons of these chapters, all the moments of surrender, and every time you chose to trust me instead of your fear, have led to this moment. You do not need to be stronger to face your future. You only need to be smaller, resting like a child in the arms of a father who has never lost a battle. The weight that once crushed your spirit is being lifted, replaced by an easy yoke and a light burden. I am calling you to the final release, to let go of the very last thread of control you have been clinging to, and to realize that the victory you have been begging for is already written in the scars of my hands. I want you to understand that the miracle you have been waiting for is not something that will happen one day in the distant future. It is a shift that is happening within you right now. As you listen to my voice, I am repairing the neural pathways that were damaged by years of chronic worry. I am soothing the nervous system that has been in a state of high alert for far too long. I am speaking peace into the very cells of your body. Tonight, as you close your eyes and drift into the sleep of the beloved, I will continue the work. I am moving into the deep places of your subconscious, pulling out the roots of trauma and replacing them with the seeds of my glory. You will wake up tomorrow with a different perspective. You will not be the same person who entered this season of anxiety. The fire did not consume you. It only consumed the chains that were holding you back. You are emerging as a vessel of honor, refined and ready for the great assignment I have prepared for you. You are living from a position of victory, not fighting for one. The enemy has no more claim over your mind, for you have been redeemed by the blood of the Lamb and the word of your testimony. Your scars are no longer marks of shame. They are your credentials, the proof that you have walked through the valley of the shadow of death and feared no evil because I was with you. The director of tragedies has been fired, and the author of life has taken the pen. Your story is not a tragedy. It is a triumphant epic of grace. Every delay was my protection, and every no was my better plan. I have already gone before you to make the crooked places straight, and I am standing in your tomorrow, waving you forward into a land of milk and honey. The night of weeping is over, and the morning of joy is breaking over the horizon of your life. Trust the process, trust the timing, and above all, trust my heart for you. Now, my precious one, it is time to seal this divine encounter. This is the moment where your faith meets my promise and creates a covenant that cannot be broken. I have spoken to you, I have comforted you, and I have given you the keys to a life of supernatural peace. But for this prophecy to be fully locked into your life, you must act. Do not leave this sacred space the same way you came in. Do not let the thief steal the seeds I have planted in your soul today. This is your moment to claim your inheritance as a chosen one. I am watching, I am listening, and I am ready to move mountains on your behalf the moment you declare your trust. This is the end of your anxiety and the beginning of your authority. Walk forward with your head held high, for the King of Kings is your Father, your protector, and your constant companion. Seal this prophecy now and forever so that it may bear fruit in your life. Type, "I trust you," or "Amen" in the comments right now to lock this blessing into your destiny and to tell the heavens that you have received my word. Do not stay silent. Let your Amen be a thunderclap in the spiritual realm. Like this video right now to preserve this energy of peace, and subscribe to this channel to join our eternal family of believers. By doing so, you are ensuring that my voice remains the guiding light in your life day after day. Share this message with 3 people who are currently drowning in anxiety. Be the vessel through which I bring them home. Tonight, when you sleep, expect a miracle in your dreams. Tomorrow, when you wake, expect a miracle in your day. It is done. It is finished. You are free.